The ocean doesn't lie. It doesn't make deals. And at 6:42 on a Tuesday morning, it told Venezuela something they never wanted to hear. They'd been watched for hours, and they never knew it. 2 miles off their patrol line, the Caribbean Sea suddenly exploded. Not from a storm, not from a whale, from something far more terrifying and scary. Feet of seawater exploded upward into the sky as 7,800 tons of black American steel punched through the surface like a nightmare clawing its way up from the deep, dark ocean bottom. No warning, no radio call, no distress signal, just raw, silent power rising up from nowhere. On the bridge control room of the Venezuelan patrol vessel boat Guapiro, every screen went from calm blue to blood red in half a second. The sonar operator's coffee cup hit the floor hard. His hands froze over the controls and buttons. The captain stared through the bridge windows with wide eyes, his throat suddenly dry because what he saw wasn't supposed to be there at all. A Virginia-class attack submarine warship, one of the most lethal, dangerous machines ever built by humans, sitting less than 2 nautical miles away in their backyard waters watching them closely, and they hadn't spotted a thing until it decided to show itself on purpose. This is the story of what happened next in those tense moments. A story about power, posture position, and the razor-thin line between surveillance watching and provocation threatening. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why this $3 billion machine surfacing coming up off Venezuela wasn't an accident at all. It was a message written in steel metal. The moment everything changed forever. Let me paint you the picture clearly. The Guapiro is no toy boat at all. She's a serious patrol vessel ship built with Italian systems powered by engines that can push her forward to 24-knot speed and crewed by sailors trained in Soviet-era doctrine-style methods. Her job is to patrol Venezuela's northern coast shoreline, watch the Bolivarian security zone area, and make sure foreign vessel ships respect the lunch rules. It was supposed to be a routine, normal morning patrol. 14-knot speed, steady course direction, clear skies above. The kind of patrol where the biggest worry is whether lunch will be fish or chicken. 20 nautical miles off Port Cruz Harbor, the crew was scanning, looking for fishing vessels, boats, and smugglers, criminals, the usual suspects in these waters. Then the ocean broke open suddenly. "Sir, we've got displacement movement at AO 86 degrees. Large contact object. Rapid ascent rising fast." The sonar operator's voice cracked, broke, not from fear, but from disbelief shock. Because the signature signal on his screen wasn't possible at all. Nothing that size should be able to rise, climb that fast without any warning. But there it was, right there, climbing from the deep at an angle that went against every instinct feeling the crew had about how the ocean worked and behaved. The captain lunged, jumped forward fast, gripping holding the console control panel. "General quarters alert, all stations positions, track and log record." "Move now." Alarms shrieked, screamed loudly. Boots pounded, hammered across metal decks floors. Sailors sprinted, ran to battle stations. Positions they drilled, practiced for 100 times, but never thought they'd actually really need. The ship pivoted, turned starboard right, engines roaring, screaming to life, cutting, making a hard turn to keep a safe intercept angle distance. And then they saw it clearly. Through the spray mist and the glare bright light, the sail tower of the submarine rose like a monolith giant tower structure. Water cascading, pouring off its black hull body in sheets, waterfalls. Sleek, smooth, massive, huge, impossibly silent, quiet. The kind of machine that looked like it belonged in a science fiction film movie, not 2 miles from their bowfront. Distance 1.9 nautical miles away, the navigator direction officer called out. His voice tight, tense. The captain exhaled, breathed out slowly, carefully, making his hands to steady, stay calm. "Keep recording, filming. No transmissions messages yet." Every sailor on that bridge control room knew what they were looking at, staring at. A Virginia-class fast attack submarine warship. Nuclear-powered atomic engine, nearly almost invisible, hidden. Armed, loaded with Tomahawk cruise missiles, rockets, and Mark 48 torpedoes that can sink, destroy anything afloat, floating. And its acoustic sound signature so quiet, silent that hostile enemy submarines have passed within 1,000 yards distance and never knew it was there nearby. This isn't a vessel ship you stumble across, find by accident. This is a vessel ship that shows itself only when it wants to deliver a message. And this morning off the coast shoreline of Venezuela, that message was crystal clear, obvious. We've been here the whole time. You just didn't know it. The standoff steering contest began. By 6:47 in the morning, The situation had crystallized, turned into something far more dangerous, scary than a simple encounter meeting. The submarine hadn't moved at all, not an inch even. It sat there, half submerged underwater, its command sail tower pointing directly straight at the Venezuelan patrol ship, like the barrel tube of a gun weapon. Aboard inside the Guapiro, the tension stress was suffocating, choking. The bridge crew moved like they were walking on eggshells carefully. Every officer's eyes flicking, switching between the tactical displays, computer screens, and the dark shape sitting on the horizon waterline. Range distance 1.6 nautical miles, the navigator reported said, his voice barely above a whisper quietly. The captain's jaw tightened, clenched. Maintain keep course 15 knot speed, keep her on visual sight. Down below in the Combat Information Center room, the sonar operator listener was listening so hard his head hurt, ached. He adjusted, changed gain settings, controls, filtered, cleaned out background noise, static, searched, looked for any sign, hint of movement from the American boat submarine. Nothing at all. No cavitation bubbles, no propeller wash movement, no engine vibration, rumbling. Whoever was commanding, leading that submarine was a professional expert. And they were playing this game at a level height the Venezuelan crew couldn't match reach. Then it happened suddenly. One clean, perfect, tight sonar pulse ping. A ping sound so perfect, clear it could only be deliberate on purpose. Not aggressive, threatening, but unmistakable, clear. The submarine was announcing, telling itself, reminding everyone listening that it controlled, owned this piece of ocean water. The captain felt his chest tighten, squeezed. He keyed, pressed his radio microphone, his voice flat and professional, calm. All stations positions, maintain stay readiness ready. Weapons guns remain stay cold safe. We do not escalate, make bigger. On deck outside, 50 caliber machine gunners stood weighted by their mounts, weapons. They weren't aiming, pointing. They weren't threatening, scaring, but their presence being there was noted, seen. Every camera on the Guapiro was rolling, recording, every sensor device recording, saving, because both sides knew, understood the truth, reality. Modern naval warfare fighting isn't about who fires, shoots first. It's about who has the better evidence proof when the lawyers get involved later. Up on above the American submarine, the crew team moved with clockwork precision, perfect timing. Cameras captured, recorded every angle view of the Venezuelan vessel ship. Acoustic sound sensors logged, saved every transmission message. Electronic warfare spy systems recorded, saved every radar emission signal. The submarine wasn't just watching, looking. It was dissecting, studying, analyzing, examining, learning, finding out everything there was to know about Venezuela's patrol capabilities, abilities. This was intelligence gathering, spy work disguised, hidden as posture showing off. And it was brutally, extremely effective, successful. The turn movement that changed everything. At 6:57 in the morning, the game shifted, changed into something far more dangerous, scary. The submarine rolled, tilted just 10 degrees to port left side. Nothing dramatic big, nothing that would make headlines news. But in the language words of naval warfare fighting, it was a sentence message, a paragraph statement, a threat warning delivered, given in steel metal. "Sir Captain, she's turning, moving towards us," the watch officer said quietly, softly. Urgency rush creeping into his voice. The captain's eyes locked, focused on the bearing indicator direction meter. 084 degrees, now 083 degrees. The submarine was rotated, turning, aligning, lining up its bow front, painting, aiming them not with radar electronics, but with geometry, position, angle. In naval combat fighting, when a warship boat points its nose front at you, it's not an accident mistake. It's a statement message. The captain made his decision in 2 seconds flat. "Come turn to port left. Match copy your angle direction 15 knots speed. Keep maintain separation distance at 1 mile. The Guapiro slid, moved laterally sideways across the submarine's beam side. A parallel side-by-side course adjustment movement that communicated, sent one simple, easy message. "We see you. We're not backing down, giving up." Inside the submarine warship, the U.S. commander captain watched through high-definition optics, clear cameras. Every move, action the Venezuelan ship made was being recorded, filmed. Every tactical battle decision logged, written. Every response time measured, timed. They weren't provoking, threatening. They were studying, watching, learning, finding out. Building, making a profile record of how Venezuela reacts, responds under pressure, stress. Because that's what this was really about, truly. Not territory land, not threats, warnings, information, knowledge. CPA closest point 1.0, 0 nautical miles distance. The XO executive officer called from the bridge console control panel. The captain didn't blink, move his eyes. Steady stay for 3 full minutes. The 2 vessels' ships held kept position place, locked, stuck in a silent, quiet duel fight where neither side could afford, had the option to flinch move. The Caribbean tropical sun climbed, rose higher up, glinting, shining off the submarine's wet hull body. The ocean water rolled, moved between them, indifferent, not caring to the tension stress crackling, sparking across its surface top. Then, without ceremony warning, the submarine tilted, angled forward, down. Its nose front dipped, went down. Bubbles air rolled off the hull body like smoke clouds. White foam bubbles collapsed, fell in churning, spinning spirals, circles. The sail tower began to sink, go down, swallowed, eaten by the seawater that had birthed, created it just minutes before earlier. In 20 seconds' time, it was gone, vanished. The radar screen showed a faint, weak trace mark for 3 heartbeat seconds. Then nothing, blank. The sonar display screen faded, turned to clean blue, empty. The ocean water closed over the submarine as if it had never existed, been there. Erasing, removing 7,000 tons of American power like a magic trick performed, done by physics itself, nature. The aftermath. What happened next? At 7:03 in the morning, the Guapiro was alone again once more. But nothing felt the same, normal. Mark, write down last known coordinates, location. The captain ordered, commanded. His voice carefully neutral, calm. Save, keep all logs, records, everything. For another 10 minutes' time, the Venezuelan ship swept, searched the area water, sensors, equipment straining, trying to reacquire fine contact again. Nothing at all. The submarine had vanished, disappeared into the deep ocean, sliding, going back into the silence, quiet that made Virginia-class boats. Submarines, the most feared, scary hunters in the ocean water, 100 feet below the surface underwater. The American crew team moved with practiced efficiency, smooth skill. Acoustic sound sensors confirmed, checked no pursuit chase. The mission log record noted, wrote the encounter meeting, Venezuela response time, speed, and tactical battle decisions, choices. Every byte piece of data information was encrypted, coded, and transmitted, sent through a narrow band buoy floating device to U.S. Southern Command headquarters in Florida State. Up on Guapiro's deck outside, sailors began to breathe again once more, slowly, carefully, gently, not quite trusting, believing the calm peace. The captain stood at the bridge window glass, staring, looking at the empty, blank ocean where a $3 billion war machine had been sitting, floating just minutes before earlier. He knew, understood what this was meant. Not an accident mistake, not a navigation error mess up, a demonstration show, a reminder message of who controlled, owned these waters when the ships were down. Things got serious. Why this matters is important. To understand, get what just happened, you need to zoom out, step back beyond the radar screen, and look-see at the bigger, larger picture view. For months' time, the U.S. Navy has been doing Operation Sentinel South mission, a maritime sea security mission job targeting stopping drug, trafficking, smuggling, and armed weapon smuggling routes, paths that snake wind through the Caribbean Sea. These routes, paths often go through international waters that Venezuela considered, thought of as part of its extended, bigger Bolivia-Bolivarian security zone area. Its legal gray space, unclear law. The United States calls it freedom of navigation movement. Venezuela calls it provocation, threatening. That's where encounters, meetings like this morning's submarine surfacing coming up happened, occur quietly, frequently, often, and always choreographed, planned down to the nautical mile distance. The submarine's appearance, showing up, wasn't random by chance. It was strategic, planned. It was a message statement that said, we can operate, work anywhere, anytime. You'll never see us coming, and you'll only know we're here when we decide to tell, show you. Virginia-class submarines boats specialize, focus in this kind of operation mission. They can stay submerged underwater for months' time, track, follow surface vessels, ships without detection being seen, and collect, gather intelligence, spy information that would take spy satellites weeks to gather, find. When they surface, come up near a patrol zone area, it's not because they're in trouble, having problems. It's because they've already seen everything they needed to see, want. For Venezuela country, that's the nightmare scenario, bad dream. Their Navy depends on limited small sonar coverage, detection, and coastal surveillance watching designed, made for drug runners, smugglers, not nuclear atomic submarines. When an American boat submarine rises, comes up within visual range sight distance, it's not just presence being there, it's proof evidence that they've been blind, couldn't see. Both nations' countries understand, know the stakes, risks. Neither wants an incident problem, but both need to demonstrate strength, power. For Washington, D.C., it's law enforcement, police work, and freedom of navigation movement. For Caracas, Venezuela, it's sovereignty, independence, and national pride, honor. And between them sits an invisible hidden line in the ocean water, one wave away from a diplomatic crisis problem that could change the entire whole Caribbean region. The real actual question. So, here's what I want to know, understand. If you were leading that Venezuelan patrol ship boat, if you saw spotted 7,000 tons of American steel metal rise come up from the deep ocean less than 2 miles away distance, what would you do? Act? Would you keep your course direction and stand your ground, stay? Proving that your country won't be intimidated, scared in its own backyard, home waters? Or would you back off, move away, knowing that some battles can't be won with courage, bravery alone only? It's an impossible, hard decision choice, and that's precisely the point idea. The submarine service surfaced to place Venezuela in a position spot where every decision seemed wrong, bad. Hold key position, place, you risk chance escalation making bigger. Turn, move away, you demonstrate weakness, being weak. That's the genius smart part of gray zone operations missions. They don't succeed through force power. They win through pressure, stress, through presence being there. Through the psychological mental weight burden of understanding you're outmatched, can't win. This morning, today, off the coast shoreline of Venezuela country, the United States America gave a masterclass, perfect lesson in naval intimidation, scaring. No shots, bullets fired, no laws, rules broken. Just $3 billion of silent, quiet power rising coming from the deep ocean to tell everyone watching who controls the ocean water when it matters, counts. The Venezuelan crew team will remember this encounter meeting for the rest of their careers, lives working. They'll tell the story in bars, drinking places, and briefing rooms, meeting spaces, embellishing, adding details, leading, defending decisions, choices. For the U.S. Navy, it's just Tuesday, normal day. Another patrol mission, another silent, quiet lesson delivered, given in steel metal. Because control of the sea ocean doesn't succeed through noise, sound. It wins through presence being there. This morning, today, presence being there belonged to the United States America. Write your answer in the comments below. If you were that Venezuelan captain leader, what would you have done, acted? I read every single comment response, and I want to learn how you'd deal with being watched down by $3 billion of American naval power strength. If you found this breakdown story fascinating, interesting, press that like button and subscribe, follow so you don't miss the next real-world naval encounter meeting story. And if you want to support, help the channel directly and help us share more true, real maritime stories to the surface out. Click, press, join below. You'll receive loyalty badges, awards, priority responses, answers, and you'll become a member of the fleet team that makes these deep dives possible. I'll see you in the next one.